Hello and welcome back to the second video of this series. In this video I'll go over how you can install Blender and the BlenderBIM add-on. Again, thank you very much for all your support, for commenting, liking and subscribing. And now let's get to business. The first step, as you can see here, download and install Blender. Blender is a free and open source program for 3D authoring. It works on Linux, Mac and Windows. It is developed by the Blender community. Now to download Blender, we can go here. I will open it in a new link, and here we see a tip: no administrator rights on Windows. Choose the portable.zip option when downloading from the Blender website. Actually, I wanted to address that, and I do prefer to use the portable version over the version that you are supposed to install. And you might wonder, why is that? Well, in case you want to have more versions of Blender, then it's easier to have it that way, because when you install it, every time you install, you will always get the latest installed version. So I prefer to have different versions that work with different Python builds. So from here, you can download the installer, or here you can download the portable version, right? At the same time, you can also download a LTS version, which stands for long-term supported version. And this is usually a more reliable version, but at the same time, you are missing on the new features. So I always prefer to use the latest version just to get access to the latest features of Blender. Otherwise, if you want to download an older version of Blender for whatever reason, you can see here, clicking on release note, you will see here the latest version is 3.2, but you can download also here 3.1 or 3.0, or as you can see 2.93 LTS. In my case, this is the one I want to download, but I will go back here, download Blender, and this is what I want to download, Blender 3.2.1, and I will choose here the portable version. Now, as we can see, this version is downloading, and after that I will just need to unzip this file and I will move it to my program files folder to have it there along with all the other versions I have already. As you can see, now it's downloaded. I will click here and I will unzip this. I will unzip it right here where it is, and after that I will go to my program files folder, and in Blender, as you can see, I have the previous versions right here, 3.20, and I will just add it right here. That way, if I want to open an older version, I can just go and do that. To make this easier, I used to make a shortcut on my desktop. As you can see here, I have 3.1.2 and 3.2, and I will make one shortcut for this as well. Of course, you don't need to have so many versions, so that's up to you. But because Blender is releasing updates quite often, this is another reason I prefer to have this and not just install and overwrite everything every time they release a new version. Okay, now we have this here, as you can see, and I will just cut it from here and paste it in this folder right here. Now it is here, and I will go here to blenderlauncher.exe and I will make a shortcut on the desktop, and here I will rename it and call it Blender 3.2.1. That's it. Now let's launch it and see what is happening. We get prompted with this. You can just click on the side and here we go. We are ready to go. This theme is already selected from the previous version, so I think these settings are shared. Alright, now the next step is to download the BlenderBIM add-on, which we can download by clicking here or just typing in BlenderBIM.org, and we get here, right? If you click here on download for Windows in my case, or for whatever other operating system you are using, we will get the latest version of BlenderBIM, which is believed to be quite stable. But let's have a look, and we can see here it contains the date in the name 22. It's from this year, 05 from May, and 16. So this version is the version released on 16th of May 2022. Now, if you want the latest version, because there are many contributors that are pushing new features almost daily, then you need to go to the homepage, clicking on the logo right here, and scroll down, and here where you can see the latest updates, click on view all changes, and you will get redirected here to GitHub. And here, if we click on OpenShell, you need to click here once on OpenShell and go to the root folder, and you will see right here where is my mouse cursor, BlenderBIM 22.07.11. So this version is quite new, almost 2 months newer than the other one. And you just need to click here on this one, and you will be redirected to this place. And here, as we can see, we can download the version we need for our operating system. In my case, the one with win.zip. This one, the first one is for Linux and the other one is for macOS. So I will click on this one and I will download it right now. Now, in order to install the BlenderBIM add-on, you need to go here to the Edit tab and click on Preferences. And here you will see a tab called Add-ons. Here you see this button, Install. But in my case, because I already have installed BlenderBIM, I need to install the previous version before I do this, otherwise I will get an error. But let me show you actually what is happening. So I will go here, Downloads, and this is the file that I downloaded from GitHub, and I will click on Install Add-on, and we get an error. If you will encounter this error in the future, please remember that you need to uninstall the installed version of BlenderBIM before you install a new version. So in order to do that, I will type in BlenderBIM, and we can see here it is checked, it's enabled, right? And I will uncheck it from here and then I will remove it. Okay, now I got an error. If this keeps doing the same stuff, I will reload it. I will not save this and I will launch again Blender, and now I will go back and try to remove it. Click here. Yes, as you can see, closing it and starting it back up fixes some issues. Okay, now just for the sake of this action, let me just close this again and start it again. Now we go back to Preferences and I will click on Install. I will go on my Downloads folder, and here you see the July 11th version. I will click on Install. Now we can see it got installed and selected right here. Now we need to enable it just by checking this checkbox. Cool, no errors, so now it's enabled. How do we know that? We can see very quickly right here. We got these menus with IFC derived placements. And if we go here, we will be able to create or load a project. This is how you know that the BlenderBIM add-on has been installed and it's working as expected. Now, here is some technical stuff. Where is the add-on installed and so on if you want to look into this. How do you want to update? Yes, as I showed you already, first uninstall the current Blender add-on, then install the latest version. And to uninstall, I showed you how to uninstall it. Now, for the frequently asked questions, I think I will make a video only about this. So for now, I will leave it at that. We have installed Blender and the BlenderBIM add-on, and both are working as expected because we are seeing this menu right here. Some other thing that we can check right here at import, we should see industry foundation classes. And that would be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one.